Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to do 2 movie reviews in one day, because I did a double feature of Across the Universe and a little movie called CockTail, starring Tom Cruise, and I believe this movie was made in 1989. Now, why do I have this on VHS? Yes, if you were wondering, this is a VHS tape. Well, the reason I got it on VHS was because, well, at my local music and movie store, they were giving away VHS tapes for free. So I took 3 of them off the table, shoved them in my backpack, which is right there, and I watched it today. And, you know, I was hoping it'd be a good movie, a fun time, and I was right. And I think this movie is very underrated. Why is that? It's got 5% on Rotten Tomatoes for some reason. Now, I could understand a 50, a 60, but 5%? 5% on Rotten? What the fuck was so bad about this flick? I don't know. Tom Cruise does a good job. This guy Brian Brown does a good job. It's about this guy who was in the military, played by Tom Cruise, named Brian Flanagan. Same first name as me, Brian. So that's cool. A character named Brian. Awesome. I love that shit. And I don't know what it is, but it's like, it's kind of like Tom Cruise looks a little like me here. Maybe I'm just being an egotist, because I like to imagine I look like a young Tom Cruise, except with all the Scientology bullshit. But anyway, getting back to the plot. So, he goes back home to New York. And the reason he does this is because, well, he wants to try to be a millionaire, wants to try to make himself a success. So he does this little self-help book thing, and he meets this veteran bartender at a place called Fridays. He does this after getting rejected by everyone at Wall Street in a very entertaining sequence. In a very entertaining montage, I mean. And then he starts giving him advice on bartending and stuff. And then he's like, you know what, I'll give you 1 day at my place to prove yourself. And he's at this really noisy place where everyone's telling him to like shouting orders. The waitresses are giving him shit. He calls one of the waitresses a bitch. He still gets a job. Why is that? The main bartender, Derek, sees a lot of himself in him, sees a lot of potential in him. And then after a few times, after Derek teaches Brian some of the skills of being a bartender, he masters it and he entertains the shit out of everyone. And then eventually he does this so well, and at the same time he's still trying to learn how to build his own business up by going to these business classes and accounting classes and a variety of other things. One of the teachers that he goes to is really over the top and hamming it up and is being a real asshole. And Brian mouths him off and says, like, well, you should actually try doing it instead of just pretending you know what you're talking about. So he flunks the class, but still gets away with it, basically. Then he meets this woman called Coral at the new place he's working out with Derek. And they're starting to get a little relationship going on, which was cute, and I bought it. Until Derek steals his girlfriend away, and Brian's like, what the fuck, man? You know how I felt about her. And then he punches Derek in the face and goes to Jamaica for 2 years, where he meets another woman after he meets an independent artist named Jordan, who's very free-spirited, and there, once again, like Coral, he's starting to get a thing with her. Then Derek comes to Jamaica with his very rich wife, and they're like, how the fuck did you get this? And then they start having their little misogynist bets about you get a rich chick. Unfortunately, Brian has this really dick character moment where he sleeps with this other woman and he moves with her, but he's still really obsessed and thinking about Jordan. So then he starts trying to win Jordan back while dumping the rich girlfriend. And then she tells him he's pregnant. And then he starts trying to convince her that he didn't just care about the money, because she lied to him that her parents were like these working class people when they were really rich. And then she said, I thought you you would only care about the money. That's why I told you. Then he meets her father and basically tells him to fuck off after the father tells him to, you know, leave his daughter alone. He'll pay him $10,000. And Tom Cruise gives a really great performance. And he has this scene where he says to the father, like, is this how much your daughter's worth to you? As like a way of saying fuck you to him. And Derek kills himself. Now, that scene came out of nowhere. And that was really annoying because there was no build-up to Derek being suicidal. Even though Brian was like, he seemed too proud. He was too proud to tell me anything was wrong, which I get. That is his character. He's very proud. He's very overconfident. Even though he has a previous monologue before he kills himself, where he's basically like, yo, I was rich and I thought I knew everything, but I knew nothing. So maybe that was hinted at, but it wasn't hinted well enough. Now, then we get to the final scene where he wins Jordan back. She also tells her father to fuck off. And then they get their business called Cocktails and Dreams, which is what Brian wanted to do anyway. So he starts to create Cocktails and Dreams with his girlfriend, with his new wife Jordan after she gets pregnant, and then they live happily ever after. The end. So this is one of the few movies that I'm disagreeing with Rotten Tomatoes strongly on. I've seen worse, okay? I've seen worse. The Purge, Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Great Gatsby, Alien 3, Grown Ups 2. I mean, this was fun. Was it stupid? Yeah, but this is just a perfect popcorn movie. So, if you see it at a store, check out CockTail. It's 103 minutes of fun. Overall, I'd give CockTail a 6.1 out of 10. I thought it was a fun time, a good Tom Cruise movie, and as I said, if you see it at a little store, pick it up. You see it at a 7-Eleven on DVD or Blu-ray, pick it up. Fuck, if you still got a VCR, get the VHS tape. Live long and prosper and have a great day.